excited what he'll do here, because this is a team in Surge that can punish you if you are making mistakes. They can look like the best hardpoint team in the game at times when they are flowing. We're going to start things off, though, on Volt. What could be Boston's pick to start us off? And what, Joe, like 8-2 on the year, something like that?
Yeah, 8-2 on the year, 2-0 on this map in this stage. So yeah, very strong hardpoint map for them. But I mean, Surge were just thinking they've been hot on Hacienda, Search, and hardpoint. Let's just veto that. We have a great map pool. So if we get to that game number 4, we'll see a skyline.
And you think back to last major, I mean, they blew out FaZe and Vault to the point that FaZe had to ban it in the final. Like, we know Surge can come to play on Vault. Excited to see what they'll be able to do. This is one, yeah, is it gonna go 5? Is Surge just gonna run away with it? I got no idea. Or maybe Breach and Giga and the Persianator will come out flying, but it's gonna be Snoopy to start things off. He has been playing so well and gets it going early on. Right over to the other sub on the squad as the ARs look over and they'll get the kills. What do you think's like the, I don't know, the biggest improvement? Oh, I know you talk about control for the Breach team. Is there a player that's really stepped it up kind of over this qualifier for you?
I think Awakening's been playing a lot better. Just more consistent from him, put in some great damage numbers, as you know, Nameless loves to gas the guy up. But you know, you're gonna have these maps where you're running into better teams. Snoopy and Purge, they're going to slow down. You need someone in your second line to find multi-kills. So for me, it's Awakening.
Let's see what kind of series he has in store for us. Certainly when playing at his best, one of the most talented shooters you are going to see. We get right over to Awakening. He's caught by a stun, but trying to hold the cross. Snoopy, though, getting in behind enemy lines. And now, well, one spawn coming in backside ammo. Well, another spawn coming out deep for Surge. P2 is going to pop. They'll have the back spawn. They do pick up the guy that spawns out as well. So you'll have numbers here for a moment, but you got to get going if you're Breach. You know that back spawn's coming in here quickly.
Yeah, that's a great pick up there by Cammy. And then who was that? Awakening on a Nasty on number 7. And Nasty is a guy, I mean, he loves the FaZe matchup. Him and Abuza really put up the numbers versus that team. They are starting a little bit slow here. Let's see if they can pick it up, but it's Purge. 5 in a row from the hill.
I just like how decisive that was, like, especially on this P2. You get a pick, you go. You just have to go. That safe spawn will come in so fast and you'll be able to fight back like Surge have inevitably been able to do as they try to split this time and maybe get a lead change in their favor. Breach thinking maybe throw bodies at this one more time with just under 20 to go, but Neptune slowly picking them apart from poolside and now just toying with Cammy.
Right, now you're just waiting for 04 to get pushed up. Right now the back spawn comes in. That's exactly what you want as they're finding picks, trying to flip the map the final 10 seconds. This is what we talk about with Surge. Their teamwork is on point. They are so decisive as they take the lead. 04 with a huge gunfight onto Awakening, and now they have map control for P3 and P4.
Yeah, that is a beautiful sequence. I mean, you go to that Breach break, which was great, and then right after that, it is all Surge over the next 60 or so seconds. Now you just want to make sure you don't allow Breach to get a ton of time in this P3. Battle it on both fronts. Keep those spawns, but keep them out of the point the best you can. I mean, you're good with the time being white, and that's kind of Neptune's role here. Just lurking mid-map, making sure no one can just soak up time for Boston Breach.
Yeah, you see spawns get a little dicey potentially. That was Purge who got pushing up after a couple of picks, but everything else is safe and now for Surge. So 04, he's gonna try to reinforce through the middle of the map. Neptune back on the clock, and well, he's just able to find 3 in a row. But Breach keeping this one close. But again, Surge, they're just playing for that P4.
Playing for the P4, and yeah, Neptune, a big part of why Breach don't get 30, 40 seconds at this point, but they'll get the scrap time, and now we'll focus on the big battles in transition. You're going to lose Neptune. Maybe a chance with numbers. We'll see where the spawn comes in for your final player. It'll be safe, tucked in the backside of P4. And speaking of fours, it's 04 that pops off with a double, secures a little breathing room for the team. And that's the breathing room for your ARs to get in position, get the crossfire in.
I mean, 04 is 16-7 right now. My man is cooking. Didn't have the best series versus FaZe himself, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they get the match win, and now he is starting to cook with the AR, with the sub. Doesn't matter. Again, just the fundamentals from Surge on point sets them up. So 04 and Yo hunting.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've I don't know, maybe started talking, or I did at least, about him being one of the more underrated players like a month ago, and it hasn't been the conversation lately. Like, he has been a behemoth. Where Neptune came in, it was really all the talk about him. 04 right there with him, if not surpassing them in some maps, which has been awesome to see. But the fact is the team has been playing together so well. They'll get all of this P4 time. So perfect hold. Now we get into our second set, or get ready for it. Time for Breach to try and bring this back.
I mean, again, that just all started from the end of that P2, right? And that's what has led them to this 50-point lead. But Breach now, their turn to try to respond. You're going to have a little bit of control from P1, but 04 not going to win that. Great movement from Cammy. But when it comes to the hill time, Surge are there. Nasty and Abuza finding kills. Nasty a slow start, but he's on the objective, now starting to get going.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, he'll have these slow starts. I mean, anyone can be guilty of it, but that's why you put me in the backpack early. I'll get rolling late. But the fact is, you got this advantage. Like, who cares? You got the lead. You're feeling good about that. 0-4. Maybe finding an opening out to the backside of the breach push. He's going to turn that into 2. The hipfire ends up connecting with the forehead of Gigawake, and he will get dropped. Another little spree for him on 22 and 9. Not a ton of time remaining here. Breach going to try and hit this, get the flip at the perfect time if they can. Still safe side spawn for Search for now. But as everybody drops, this will be the last spawn you'll get. Will this end up being a split? Breach start to push forward. We'll see if that'll be the case.
Yeah, Surge right now, they're down 50. Let's go to a listen with Vancouver Surge.
I'm blocking. One's oil, go in front.
One on right.
Yeah, go cut.
Yeah, jag kan Peter tree.
Here we go. One time.
What's deep light?
I got one time.
One's deep left. One's deep left to play.
Deep right, weak.
I'm aiming a shot.
One time.
No, he's on. Yo, one's mid, right? Okay, big row.
I'm in the corner.
I'll kill some.
Okay. Good shit.
Mid on time.
Line cut. I'm channeling your left. You can look right.
Back left. Top good. I'm going to use cassette. I'm trying to
Go, Chef, go.
Talk from mid, okay?
I have lights.
Okay, I'm plus front. T'es là. Go for it, two. One more. Camille,
Yo, watch out,
I'm real mid. Yeah, go mid. One front, Camille, one HP front.
Watch out, left side light. He's right now. Yo, pick a right.
I have it.
Okay.
He's already through that.
Outer pumps,
It's purge.
Okay, what? He's on time, running through some.
I see him.
He's in somewhere.
I smoke it.
He might be
I sent top for you.
I don't think
Sure.
Okay, so we left.
I should have big line.
Yo, he's one more.
You're in one.
Hey, I'm looking at it.
Still on you.
Yo, pull the arrow, Chef.
Heard you.
I don't see anything line, bro.
Yo, Farmy can't be there. I'm back front. They spawned me. Spawn me, guys.
I'll be back.
One dead, guys. On the left, Camille, I'm not picking. One HP.
One shot.
Watch out.
Okay. I'm bottom right.
Watch out. Purge that.
Nice,
I'm grabbing it. Nice.
I have all the sides
Give it right.
I'm missing Camille, Snoopy, guys. 20 seconds left. Take your time.
I'm me, guys. I've already been.
One shot. I'm one shot.
I'm back.
I can watch my side.
Bro, those comms at the end of P3 when they're dealing with Purge on the push through were incredible from Surge.
I mean, creme de la creme right there. I mean, you heard it from Neptune. He's already through P4. Then he's top P4. Neptune comes off spawn. I'm going to land a stun for you that allows him to win the gunfight. And we saw the graphic. It was 55-0. Last time through, it's probably the same thing there. Set up that P4 breach. And when we got into that, listen, fought back at the P2. But this is what Surge do. Just such great hard point to watch.
Breach gonna have to do it again in the P2, but I think I literally got chills, dude, during that sequence. Like, those comms were so good. 3 through on the feed for Breach, trying to mount this comeback. It's been a story of a P4 team and P3, P4, and P1, P2, like tale of two halves. Breach, this is their half that they've got to dominate, but maybe a break for Surge for now, and this break, in fact, there's still so much time remaining on the hard point. You still have time to get composed if you're Breach and worry about the setup for next. But with 15 seconds remaining, every fight going to be so big here in the upcoming seconds because Breach, they just need it and they need it desperately. This is a good time you'll take if you're Surge.
I was going to say, I feel like you want to fight this, but they don't want to overreach, maybe get broken. You have Hellstorms on both sides. Purge was able to earn one last P2. Nasty, though, he's had one off that objective time, so he's going to call one in. You're going to see 0-4 and Neptune hunt that player. inside of ammo. Nasty going to connect onto Awakening. That is the opening. 404, 3 dead. Spawn out Surge, and now you have to go if you're Breach. You have to use the Hellstorm of your own.
Purge's got to spawn in and call that in, I imagine, immediately, as they've got to break. 20 seconds needed for the victory for Surge. Streaked out coming in. Purge has stopped moving. Here comes a missile up from above. They've got to break, and they've got to break now. That's not going to connect. Hey, how many kills is it actually going to lead to so far? It is all Surge on the hold. They just had to tighten up at P2 when the map was theirs, and that looks to be the case. No opening for Breach. Shut down. Neptune on 5 straight to close it out, and that's a map 1 win for Vancouver Surge.
I mean, we saw this last stage, right? Like at moments, they just look so darn clean in hardpoint, and they continue to do so. It is not easy. I know we talk about it a lot with P3 and P4, but it's not easy to contain a pro team for 2 minutes, right? It's not at all. And they did it twice right there.
And I want to go back to listening, because we highlighted a couple bits, but it was like a whole sequence. Like at first, whoever commed, like, pick it up. Someone was like, pick it up, pick up right. And then he's like, I don't spot him. He goes, oh, he has to already be through. Like, that was so good. Then the next person says, oh, it's Purge. It's Purge we're looking for. Just calling out the player too, which is great, because you know, play styles, what weapon he has, that type of thing. And then I don't see him. And that gunfight, like, I think he's going to lose. The stun hits right as the gunfight starts. Like, that was one of the better moments I think I've watched it or listened to. Like, that was incredible. Incredible. As we check the stats now, ends up being a significant win there for Surge. Statistically, anything really popping off the page for you?
I mean, obviously 04 set the pace right from the get-go, but then everyone starts to get involved. I think the biggest thing is probably the difference in the scoreboard is P4. I mean, they probably lose by 100 at that hill, and they end up losing the map by 100.
It's easier to be perfect at P4 than it is at P2 from what we've seen this year. But yeah, we'll check the P4s, and you can see both is almost a vertical line for the blue squad in Surge. They dominated there, and it's a literal flat line. There's nothing. There's nothing for Breach, as you just cannot break in, cannot do it. Well, the communication, like we heard, the one transition, a big part of why.
They didn't even get close.
No.
Like, there was no pressure side door. It's not like there was any contest. Like, you heard the listens, hey, I'm pushing out front, they're spawning mid. Hey, all right, now they're gonna start spawning towards the front. Like, I don't know.
That's tough, because this is the Breach pick, right? You're talking hard point. They played him tough for a lot of it. But you're just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's happened this year, but if you get 0 points in a P4, you're not winning the match.
I don't know if that's happened.
Maybe it had, I doubt it, but like, you got to get something. It doesn't have to be a split. You don't have to dominate, but you need something. It's just so hard to remain perfect at P2.
Nice.
Yeah, they won it, but honestly, once you get to that second one that Surge ended up holding there, and they broke up some time, I mean, it probably ends up being a little closer to 50-50. Like, Breach, not quite enough in the tank to mount the comeback there late. Surge gonna run away with it. I mean, the good thing though for Breach, I think it would almost be like a panic button previously if you lost your hardpoint pick in a series because of what your control game was. Now that your control game has improved a bit, it's not quite is panic mode.
Yeah, and I think like because you've gotten so good at Hacienda, like you played a lot of Skyline. Skyline is a good map for Boston Breach on the year. It's one of their go-tos. So you kind of force Surge to have to pick that in that map number 4. So yeah, it's definitely not panic button time yet. As we're gonna get Dealership and Rewind yet again in this series.
But I think it kind of would have been before.
No,
like before this, control?
Yeah.
Like you go down, you lose your pick, go down 0-1. Your control's miserable. You're like, because what was it? They were 5 and 16 or whatever until they won 5 straight, or I guess now 6 straight. The control game going to be everything for them if they're going to continue to make a run this event. Unlike our first series, we are back into the winners bracket, so a loss here is not the end of the world. You still have a chance to make a run, but a little bit easier if you can keep cruising, a little less pressure if you keep moving through the winners bracket.
Well, loser of this drops down and plays
Ultra.
FaZe, right?
Ultra, right?
Ultra, right? Yeah, I mean, I take your pick. Pick your poison right now between Ultra and FaZe. It's just you don't want to lose.
No. Absolutely not. Granted, you're going to play, if you win, you're playing a Miami or a Thieves, so it's going to be tough. Regardless of the route you're going to take. So many solid teams right now, and that's what's been fun about this particular stage and why we expect things to ramp up today and tomorrow. It is very, very competitive today throughout the top and middle part of our squads. Last 5 maps in Surge. See there, 4 out of 5 W's for Surge. We'll see the dealership opening out of Boston Breach. It is aggression from both sides. It's a 4 that's going to get dropped. Big wake. We'll get that first blood.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just sort of trying to hard counter or break off there for Boston Breach, or just taking a risk if you are Surge. Maybe trying to catch them off guard, but you're going to take that first blood. It was a 2-2 split. I mean, you had 3 there. If that first blood goes the way of Surge, they probably are in like a 3 versus 2 for this round. First blood, though, going to get traded. Nasty there for another trade, so 2v2.
That's one of those pushes, like, I don't know, maybe you keep them honest. Maybe they play a little bit slower offensively on B. They don't have that same aggressive hit you'd like because you're worried about that. I don't hate it. Take a little swing at it, and you still have a chance to take the round. Bomb planted now. The Snoopy at Awakening. Back up and reposition. We'll stick with Nasty for now. Takes a couple bit of tags. 30 seconds to go. Snoopy trying to wallbang for info to see if they're on the bomb. The second he stops, though, Abuza is going
Yeah,
bomb.
that's a problem. I don't know if you're going to recheck this
no.
as soon as he stops.
That
Free
timing
firing
is
that. I think that is a wall bang. But Abuza's just like, all right, I'll get on it now.
Yeah,
but you gave up street, you tried to wrap middle, you're playing for that wall bang.
Yeah, that's just, he stuck it the second after. That's so tough, especially with him wrapping back to get eyes. The second he hopped, I was like, oh, he's got this. Like, good heads up play for Abuza. He's like, all right, he's trying to wall bang for info. Well, let's go ahead and hop this thing.
In a tough one there. Just, I mean, you had such a clean first blood if you are Breach. They back down up. But the trades on that ace trade do not go their way. And then in the 2 versus 2, yeah, Surge clutch up.
They clutch up. Nasty, able to get 2 of the 4. Now we'll flip. Neptune. Not playing point with 04, the bomb carrier for now. Nothing nearly as aggressive out of Boston Breach on this side of the map. Stun not going to give too much info or kitty tags, so they have a trophy set up deep. But look at Breach, they are grouping up. They are ready to hit this.
Yeah, the only difference is you don't really have anyone middle of the map, right? That's sort of the normal default defense. Is someone peeking that window, but it's going to be a 4v4. Here we go, Breach are just running.
And that's it. They should, Nasty, you hope gets 1, but that's a 4-on-1. Everybody backs up. I mean, Abuza was still playing in spawn for the push through. They just all hit it through the front, and they get on it immediately, and this is done. Just back-to-back round diffuses. People putting their bodies on the line, making sure teammates holding the window. And great job answering back if you are Breach. But yeah, no, Abuza was never in the play. Well, I mean, in the play based on how Breach played it, obviously. And then everyone left. Outside of Nasty, right? Like everyone left to try to take a route.
Yeah, I mean, middle of the map was
Breach.
open, but yeah, Breach trying to catch them off guard, just 4 hitting the B bomb site to retake it. And yeah, they know there's nobody middle, so just gonna hop this bomb. Well, Cammy looks over his teammates.
Interesting couple of rounds to start this off. I feel like it's not that often we get that many defuses when players are alive. It's back-to-back rounds. Maybe worried about that opening aggression from round 1. A little more passive here.
Yeah, but it's the same.
Giga crew.
Yeah, same 2-on-2 split though. So just sort of spreading out, finding information, but seems like it's gonna be right back towards this A site.
Cammy's been clutch all year in late round positions, but right now maybe gonna be your early round guy. He's playing Rimpo. Snoopy gonna go. Cammy can't actually make the play. He's gonna be a caught from Abuza deep. And suddenly you've got bomb down on the site. Breach gonna have to bring it back down a man. I thought Awakening had a pick there. This becomes far more winnable if he catches it. Probably need 1 more bullet.
Now it's just a timing when he goes and plants this bomb, or if he does. So yeah, now he's gonna hop it out. Does the retake start for Surge? And it might just happen. So you're gonna get some awful timing right off the bomb. Now it is all down to Purge.
That's the fear in that situation. Purge though, as he gets 1, maybe a chance to do this. They just got on it. Here we go. Gonna catch it. They're gonna line up in front. Oh my God! Get shots in the bow. Aim assist, maybe a nightmare there as one goes sliding across, and he's trying to finish the player on the bomb.
And I mean,
I thought they were lining up perfectly.
Yeah, Abuza's character just freaks out.
Oh my God.
He hops off the bomb so quickly. He needs like 1 more bolt in both.
Yeah, that animation. I mean, personally, whoa.
It looked insane.
No, it looked so crazy. We'll watch it one more time. Purge nearly able to pull off the 1v3. But he's thinking freebie, and then look at the animation as he starts hopping off it. No, it's more to slide across the. It's just like the bomb, just hopping away with the bomb. That looked insane.
Yeah, dead body there as well. Just doesn't help.
Yeah. Advantage back to Surge. This is an old group up and hit it here at A. How fast do the bodies get over from Breach? Pretty quickly, the rotation is in. Now you've got everybody grouped up here.
Car is out, I think, for a Booza. So he's in that. Opening up the door, but at least allows you to get the bomb down. Now, the big thing is you don't have much presence on the street. You've really backed away. Cammy's going to find that first blood.
Little revenge from the last round as Cammy gets the opener. He continues to push it. They know they got to go. 30 seconds remaining. They got to work it. Cammy's able to get another one. Now Snoopy is fine. He'll get around the angle, and they just clear house. Cammy with 2, Snoopy with 2. You said it, no real presence on the street. They back it up, and that's the opening for Breach to go.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen too much success with teams doing that. Like, obviously it's a bomb plant, but when you kind of back away, it just feels like, even online, did not go well. The one team who really switched that up was like Ultra that I can think of. Normally when they would plant a bomb, they would at some point take a risk and try to slide forward to a car and take some gunfights to them. But you can just see, as soon as that first pick comes down from Cammy, you're all sliding on through. There's nobody in the middle of the map that Breach have to worry about. So great retaste here from both our squads.
2-2 now. See who finds some separation first. As teams start to make these mid-game adjustments. And you can see they're really playing for maybe some aggression again. I think that still just goes back to the round 1. The round 1 pressure, they're thinking that could be a call at any time.
Yeah, and you're just trying to keep them split on the Surge side. And well, I mean,
that can't happen.
Yeah, no, Snoopy cannot get picked there. As they're going to go A Street again. 0-4 was thinking about the flank, but maybe not now with the first blood. At this point, you're just going to play the retake.
I mean, Booza has 2 kills, and they're both defensive first bloods. I mean, he just got picks from deep. One time onto Cammy, one time onto Snoopy, but as soon as Snoopy gets picked, I mean, this round's basically over. Wake has been insane in situations. He's been last alive, but no opportunity for any kind of magic there. Yeah, I mean, the offense just stalls after Snoopy gets picked.
Yeah, we'll see which team. I mean, A has just not worked out these last few rounds for either of our squads. So start to think you got to do something a little bit different here.
We'll see if the play call might be heading over to B. First bloods right now, advantage to Breach, 3-2. Mabuza's got both up for Surge, as I mentioned. But that's just what the round 1 where you brought it back 3 versus 4. We're still going there, Joe.
Yeah, we're going to go for it.
A little bit of a different, maybe defensive look. All just mid from Breach.
See what they do maybe post-plan. Like maybe you do play with a little bit more presence up front. It looks like that's going to be the call. Neptune, no, he's just looking over it. Yeah, all of Breach are here. But there we go. Neptune going to take some gunfights. That makes it easy. 0-4 with 1 more. So a 2v1 for Purge.
Far more aggressive there, or more just down to the timing you had to play like that because you were still planting the bomb. Purge, opportunity, maybe in a 1 versus 3 earlier. The 1v2 here, though, no chance to do it. Beautiful from the car, Heady. And now some separation finally for a team. Surge up 2.
Yeah, I mean, you were here if you were Breach, but you just got caught trying to cross. The SMGs find all the kills. Yeah, we saw it from Purge's POV. That is not an easy gunfight whatsoever.
It is not. But yeah, and when you back it up, like you're just playing from like the small room. It's like, yeah, there's not much playmaking ability for your subs whatsoever. Whereas Neptune, 0-4, able to do it there. Pressure to Breach now. Already in an 0-1 hole in the series, back a couple of rounds now in the search. This will be their search pick, so. Oh, sorry, this is Surge's search pick because they lost their hard point. Cammy, gonna get caught and dropped. Advantage to Surge again.
Yeah, you were waiting on some aggression these last couple of rounds. Well, you finally did it, but it's not B side, it's right through middle. Now you backed on up. Again, if you are Surge, just gonna play the numbers, even if you allow the bomb plant. Snoopy, though, trying to get active. Trying to find anything that he can. I mean, 0-4 goes for the reach out. Maybe you would have caught him here. On the other side of the map, maybe a weird timing here for Awakening. Really depends on what Neptune sees.
Maybe a weird timing for both.
Yep.
Booza, though, is able to get 2. He has been locking down this A-side street on defense. Hold up now. Awakening 1 versus 4.
Well, there's a car out, so.
Car in play, so best of luck with this. Try to deal with a car and fire from Nasty. 3 straight. Now for Surge, and what was a close one for a moment. Now dominated by Surge, a round away from a 2-0 win.
Yeah, I mean, you work the early first blood, but then with Neptune getting pushed up into that music room, you just kind of cheat over towards A. That's where Booza is able to find both of those players on the Breach side. But I think if you're Breach maybe in that moment, you kind of just have to wait for Awakening, I think, to make a call, because he does find an opening. He could have slipped through.
Yeah.
Instead, he's left in a 1v4.
Yeah, we're so focused on the Awakening play, the next thing I know, everyone's dead on the other side. I'm like, all right, well, so much for that development. Breach have got to rip 4 straight.
All right, it's another iteration of it. You're going to try to get bomb down. You haven't really shown much presence mid or through the flank, so that's going to be the call. Get 04 to plant, and then maybe Neptune hits him with a full flank. So watch number 8, as long as 04 stays alive. But it may not matter, because all of Boston are here.
04 able to get back to full, and I thought pick 1. The opening is in for Neptune, though. He's been lurking the entire time on the offsite. Now he pounces. Now he's just going to want to play his life as long as he can, but I like that for Breach. Everyone backs up and deals with him. This will open up the plant towards the side as we get into a 2 versus 2.
That's it. Yeah, bomb wasn't down. Like, if bomb is planted, probably works out better for Neptune and Surge. Instead, it doesn't. But still time to work with.
Yeah, I mean, just really good job dealing with Neptune, not allowing him to get more. And it's Neptune that's able to follow. Okay. Abuza shuts down both, and this one is done. Another time in a round where I'm thinking something's going to develop, and Abuza just slams 2. I think I mentioned he had like 2 first bloods. It was 2 and 1, and then what is he? Did 5 or 6 more after that?
We don't know. Our scoreboard's was messed up the whole time.
Yeah, no, it was 7, so he gets to 7. Abuza taking over late. Surge, well, taking over late. Is they're up 2-0, winning that one 6-2. And listen, as much as you want to sell like the Breach story here to make a run, and not have a lot of like historic great runs in tournaments, like Surge were the better team coming into this, 100%. They're the favorite in this. Hell, at this point in the tournament, maybe let's talk winners bracket, favorite with Thieves to maybe win the entire thing. I was hoping this series maybe a little bit more competitive, but right now it is Surge firing on all cylinders and Breach looking for answers.
Yeah, I mean, again, last time they played it was a 3-1 on land. Like the Vault Hardpoint was a 2-point win for Boston. So as soon as you start to see that 100-point win for Surge, yeah, like you don't panic because your control's been better, but I think it's definitely time to panic.
This is kind of the test. This is where like all that work and all that improvement and control really matters. And like Shift has said, like they didn't play a lot of, they didn't have a lot of tough competition. This is tough competition. This is a must-win map in a winner's bracket. See if they can do it. Desta, talk to us.
Oh, we're partying out here. Al, you nailed it. Prediction on point.
These guys are frauds.
You nailed it. Prediction on point. Nameless, what's up?
Hey, man.
What's up?
Still want to be unanimous. I believe in Gigawake. And unfortunately, so far, Boston just not performing. Vancouver, the better team.
Is Indomitable in this matchup, though?
No.
We need him.
No, they do.
Wake needs to evolve.
Reverse sweep. It's on the cards.
Let's take a look at our Search and Destroy and what went down in the brain game. Some big shots from Neptune. Set the tone early.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the defensive rounds for Search here, just on point. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, outside of one round, Abuza found so many kills there. If you're Boston Breach, like, just trying to get the bomb down, it's almost an impossible task. And even when you do, you saw Vancouver just hopping on it twice, getting the defuse before the player on Boston could really make a play to get them off of it. I mean, Vancouver just so prepared on dealership. You saw them put a lot of reps in it online and, translate into a W here.
Shift, what are you liking about the Surge gameplay so far?
I love that they're just never playing off their heels on both sides of the bomb. They really only make 2 mistakes. The Ninja Diffuse that kind of comes underneath their noses, played the post plant through mid, and then Abuza getting the first pick over towards the outside at this white car. Everything else, though, on offense, I love when it comes down to they're not just content at getting a bomb plant and retreating backwards. They want to get forward. They want to make this defense stress, because then once you get that battle from the front, often there's a long flank around the back you just can't account for because Surge are pulling your focus in so many ways.
Ali, I see that guy right there. 04 was vibing throughout this series. 3 plants to go with it. Can you talk to me a little bit about the bomb planner role on dealership? It felt like in the first 2 weeks, it was just survive the explosions coming your way.
It kind of still is. I mean, it's stressful, dude, but I think what O4 does really well is kind of just trusting his teammates in that situation. I mean, you're allowing on side of Boston Breach, you allow Abuza 2 times, getting 2 pieces for free.
Yeah.
You allow Neptune to push up, get 2 pieces for free, allows the bomb go down. So maybe a little more aggression on the defense from side of Boston if you're going to play dealership.
Search and Destroy seems to be in favor of Vancouver, at least early. When it comes to the respawns, though, does Boston have a chance? What did you learn here, Alex?
I mean, this was really a map between what? P2 versus P4s. And you've got handshakes on both of them.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to it, you look at what is the difference maker. It's not the 50-50 hills. The job that Vancouver does from 3 to 4 and then from 4 to 1, just better than what Boston were able to do from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3.
Look, and this map one came down to one thing for me, and this, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I kind of feel like Boston live or die by Snoopy playing well right now, and I think we've kind of forgotten that because he's been so consistent,
Right.
and especially versus the top teams, he needs to play well. I mean, he was 9 and 15, I think, at some point, and he had a really slow start. And like on the flip side for Vancouver Surge, Nasty was 9 and 13 at one point, while Surge was still had the lead. And the difference is like if that was Nepra 04, the score would be completely different. So I think for Boston, it was just unfortunate that Snoopy had a really slow map number 1.
I mean, you just see a lot of teams like heavily prioritize like art side on the P3 into P4, but if you're chalking the time on P3, you can't afford to get broken on that rotation. And, you know, we see so many teams fall into that trap. Boston, typically a good vault team.
Yeah.
I mean, Vancouver, just much better.
Chances of this not being a 3-0, because chat was calling it in the middle of that game too, that this is going to be Vancouver moving on to another winner's bracket final.
Well, I mean, Boston have been really good at control.
Yeah, and I actually
on vault.
don't really like Vault for Surge either.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
it's
Boston has an opportunity here.
3-0, dude. These guys haven't
It's
beat
probably
anyone, bro. 3-0.
American Maven, I like the confidence out of this one.
Yeah, 3-0 is probably how this is going to go. I really, really want a Breach to do this or make it a little more interesting, but not seeming that way. But yeah, no, this is. I hear him. He's saying they're scamming, whatever, like frauds. Sure.
They're just not even shooting well right now.
They're
I think
not.
that's the
Yeah,
other problem.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
think if sort of Snoopy and Purge were going, I think fundamentally Surge would still make the games close. But right now, you're not even seeing that. Like, you're not even seeing the individual talent show for Breach.
Yes, and when they've shown when they are hot, like shooting well, they've upset a Thieves. They beat an Ultra. I mean, they were up 2-0 before that when, you know, the Forbin stuff went down. Like, they can play with the best when they're really on point, but that's your concern. They haven't been, yeah.
No, they aren't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because the fundamentals of Surge are not allowing that to happen, right? I mean, we saw
Making
like
situations difficult.
we saw like 1 5 spree from Purge in map 1. But I think that's also just, we're going to get rid of Hacienda where they've really...
Oh, yeah, Purge went on like a 7 or an 8 or something. That's when we were in the listen in, right?
Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah. We'll see if they can do it. I don't think many are believing in them right now based on how the first 2 maps have gone, but they can be a solid Skyline team. If they can get there, they've got a shot. They just got to win this. Got to win this. Maybe they can get it to a map 5. But we'll see how big those control improvements have been. You see the last 5 maps. Control has been cruising. But a much tougher test here versus Surge. A team that is trying to get back to a final and maybe win a tournament. They were tested last time. They got smoked in the final, but you live, you learn, you improve, and Surge continue to move on forward. It's all going to be Breach, though, with the opening break, as they'll get set up here nicely defensively.
Yeah, that's just great comms from somebody on Breach, because it looked like the flank was open, but then you saw Awakening after the first gunfight just immediately slide backwards, start to pre-fire the flank from 04. So nice job by Breach on that break.
Comms are just knowing the
Instinct,
timing.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice shots there from Nasty. But you need your shooters to really come alive. And I mean, I'm saying Wake and Cammy. Like, can Wake and Cammy really get going? Nice little 3-0 start. Make it 4 straight. He's dancing through stuns and looking to get aggressive. Streak is going to continue. Down to the pistol. Maybe needed one more hit there. And that streak keeps going, but you've still got numbers. Still got bodies here defensively. 30 seconds left to go. So far, so good. But we know how Vault is. Every 3 seconds remaining, suddenly you get 5 ticks. Need to close this out with authority.
I mean, Cammy, we saw sort of the leaderboard from this stage. It's Cammy Awakening in the top 10. While you're getting it from Wake, get a little bit from Cammy right there. Abuza's going to find 2, but his teammates are all dead. So far, I mean, this is perfect from Breach in round 1.
Yeah, and even that one-on-one, I'm sure Abuza was weak, but Purge needed to win that. Just don't allow them to pause the clock. This will be the last push then through. Nasty trying to do it from underground, sub in hand, but he's going to get caught. Everybody drops outside of Neptune. And you couldn't ask for a better defense so far. The control improvements looking good.
Blanked him. I mean, no ticks even over towards that A side. Starts off well, and I mean, 0-4 just starts off 0-5. Just felt like any route he was trying to take got shut down.
We know how defensive heavy Vault has been. They blank him. I mean, you already set up with a good opportunity to give yourself a round 5 defense. Those full holds can be so massive in that story, but Surge obviously potentially do the exact same thing. 0-4 trying to dig himself out of hell with the goose egg there in the opening round, but let's see if he can get loose a little bit now defensively. Certainly a little bit of an easier role. Purge on his 4, trying to take the route. You get the pick on Awakening, and a teammate is going to come in. Cammy at least going to get one before he drops. Purge is going to be caught as well. 0-4, well, now on the board as he gets a double, and, well, pretty similar to what we saw in the last round. Defense wins the break. Defense, early setup and control.
Yeah, I thought 0-4, Purge was like, maybe just going to try to go B, just pause the clock, but yeah, so weak. Was waiting for somebody to drop down, get that trade, keep his streak alive. But doesn't happen. Right back to it though, Go Boston Breach. They find the first 2 picks. Well, maybe the first 3. It's just Abuza left alone in a 2 versus 1.
Back to Abuza gets 2 though. They're going to be able to reinforce this quickly, and it's going to be a 4. Maybe trying to take a route. He's able to do just that. A 4 is going to get 2. I think Abuza's kills are what maybe opens that up for a 4 that he can make a play.
Yeah, but he wins the first one, right? Purge is on that stairheady. That's a catwalk to stairheady gunfight win. He wins that first one. That gives him the angle from Cat. Yeah, allows him to retake.
So back to the basics. We go for Breach. Next hit upcoming. You're able to get the opener again. Opportunity to do it though. A 4. Chance to play spoiler once again. And he's spoiling. Another multi-kill from what 0-5 in the round 1, now up to 6-6 and on 4 straight. Multis in the last 2 pushes from Breach. He's been huge here, and I mean, you at least have advantage of your Breach. You got 1 tick.
Yeah,
you got 1 that's a little
one.
bit better, but still the Surge defense good enough that not as straightforward a conversation for a potential round 5. Last chance.
Yeah, maybe you're able to touch B. Purge is going to get on it for now, but no trophies. Needs the help. Awakening is there. Awakening Chalice for the 3rd. Purge is able to stay alive. That's going to be all 4 dead. You're going to have 1 player in Cammy starting to push up the street. Now they're just going to keep 1 on B, and they're going to rotate it over towards A.
I love this. I love this. 0.5 on the clock, and we were talking about 1 tick. Well, now it is 3, and maybe more. Minute extension is looming. Do you take the risk and keep sending bodies at this? They're still trying to fight for it, or are they? Neptune maybe just trying to secure a hole and make sure he picks up 1 on the exit. It's actually 0-4 they'll do that, but what a great stretch there from Breach. What a play over at B, because that was literal last opportunity.
Yeah, and great comms, right? All right, B is just a tough point to capture. Let's not allow the nades to ruin this. Let's go to A. We have all the trophies down. It's easier for us to defend this, and now maybe a chance. They already have a take towards the B point. They find a couple of kills. You're going to put 3 players on this. Boston Breach, we are on the same page, trying to win the attack in round number 2, trying to get it to a map 4. Just staying alive, though, is Surge.
Okay, all right, but no respawns remaining for Breach. I mean, listen, you'll take the 5. This has been great. A round win would have been unbelievable considering the circumstances, but still doable. Time going to be issued at number 5 that's lurking in 0-4. What is his timing going to be? But you found a volume of kills. 0-4 is going to pounce. He's going to take out Snoopy. Quickly traded by Awakening, though. Hold on a second. 3 versus 4, capturing the point, and Breach have done it. That is a theft.
I mean, what a round. Again, just the play call off of B. You get Purge on the point for a second. Awakening finds that multi-kill. Let's go towards A now. Keep Snoopy towards this point.
Brother.
And then, yeah, they just played as like a death ball. Like, they were just grouped up, always multiple players on the objective. All the pressure was over to Surge to have to chow.
How quickly that go for me talking about the 1 tick advantage.
So now you're up 2-0.
Yeah, now you're up 2-0. That is a bit of a difference. And like I mentioned, when we started this map, it can happen. If there's any time remaining in that clock, it seems like it is possible to win. As hard as offense can be, it just usually happens like that. You blink, and it can be over. Incredible stuff from Breach, and maybe this is where they mount their comeback in the series. Just trying to get this to a Skyline map 4, and we know how good they could be on that particular map. Obviously the pick for Surge, but still, these guys have some pretty good square up maps when you talk about the hard points at least. Surge though, trying to just stay alive within this particular map. Neptune maybe stopped shooting. Or sorry, Forward maybe stopped shooting. Neptune's able to get 2.
I don't know if he stops shooting. It runs out of ammo. Just, well, not the crispiest shots, but it doesn't matter. His teammates have his back. So this is cleaner out of Surge so far. Play 8 point about to be done. Just Purge, maybe he's gonna go for it. No, he's just gonna back away. Well, you're gonna have a long 2-minute defense here for Breach.
Obviously must win right now for Surge within this map. 4 straight and hunting is Neptune. Knock, knock. Dude, that looked insane.
What the?
That looked insane.
It's like he doubled.
Yeah, had like a
Shoulder
double dash.
charge?
Yeah, it was like a shoulder charge from an MMO. Like you're playing a tank and wow, what the f was that?
I don't know, but they have 3 dead right now. A big nade from Cammy takes down Abuza. You should have had 3 players on the point. You can still work the first hit. They do just that. Plus, you stop the clock again, so still 1:40 to work with. Abuza's gonna follow Purge's double with a double of his own.
That's keeping bodies near the point. Just gonna be nasty though for a moment. How long can he stay up? Quickly. The answer is not long. Good job from Breach, regaining lives still relatively even. And now you get some map position if you're Breach. Still though, 120 seconds to go. Plenty of lives to do this on offense if you're Surge. But you've got to deal with just a lot of positions. Well, that's one dealt with. Great job dealing with Purge because he could have staggered this pretty quickly. Another great pick. Just taking their time, reading the map, getting out.
Yeah, we saw it last round, right? Just takes a couple of seconds. Just need the map position for that execute to happen on the B point. Abuza's gonna step up, just pause the clock. Maybe force somebody to chow, but you chow 0-4. If you are Cammy, you win the gunfight, and then Snoopy's able to reinforce.
Yeah, I mean, you want any pause is great because you'd love to bring this maybe 2 lives, considering you have an advantage, even if it's minimal. It could be so hard if your only winning condition is just getting the ticks. Only 40 seconds to go, though, and while the lives becoming less of a conversation, as Purge, I thought that was a triple. Nasty, just able to finish it, though. Purge with the damage in, though. Easy trade for Snoopy. Under 30 to go. Breach just got a hold, and they're right back in this series. And then it plays to the conversation we're having. Like, that's why you aren't as big a panic mode, because of the improvements in control. We're not quite done yet, though. Clock is going to be paused again, but only 7 lives remain. Nice pickup there from 0-4.
He's finessing.
Hold up now. Hold up now.
He is finessing and playing his life, allowing his teammates to get there, but holding the line is the ARs. This has been the difference maker for them stepping up. But 0-4 is still there. He was just all by his lonesome. Only 3 lives remaining, 10 seconds remaining. How quickly can they get to B?
Trying to go. Neptune nearly able to win this second, but can't do it. All on Nasty now. And it's not going to be a 3-0 victory in the series for Surge. They Breach battling back with a 3-0. They're in the control. Signs of life. Guns started to get hot. And that makes me think the improvement's a whole hell of a lot more real in the control.
No, it is. Now 7 in a row for these guys. Yeah, but like you said, in the past, it was over.
Yeah.
This was done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they looked so clean, especially on that offensive round to go up 2-0. And yeah, now you go to a Skyline.
So what was it? It was 5 and 16, now to 12 and 16?
12 and 16.
Yeah, it's crazy. This stretch is mid the year looks so much better from one of the, we're talking like bottom 3 control team. So now you're getting into the mix of things, just exactly what they needed. The work has been put in. They've gotten hot in that mode at the right time. Yes, you're still in a hole in this series. But Skyline, I don't know. This is either teams. You know, obviously this is Surge's pick. They have been a better hardpoint team on the year in form over these last couple of qualifiers. Maybe the best hardpoint team. A tough one for Breach, but it's doable.
Well, and I mean, when we talk about Surge's sort of hardpoint, it's been like the fundamentals and just their teamwork. Skyline's just a map where
You can snap them.
it's not, yeah, you know. Like obviously, there's some big rotations. You have to time your pushes, but it allows, it kind of minimizes that.
Yeah, it's not like a, I don't know, a Hacienda
It's not a vault.
where it can be as punishing. You might only get a couple cracks at a hard point before you have to rotate. Like, you're going to be able to get a lot of hits, make some mistakes, and still come back into it with some crisp gunny. There's Neptune with the shoulder charge.
was insane.
Dude, from Awakening's POV, he was unkillable. Like, even if he hit him with bullets, he wasn't dying. No way.
I don't know if that was podcast or if that's what the animation looks like. But you should do that at home.
I just picture Captain America with a shield, dude.
Yeah.
Some of the animations can be wild. But the story continues within this series. Teams battling to get into a winner's bracket final. And how incredible that could be. Because you get their way. I mean, that's top 3 you're talking, right? Top 3 you're talking for Breach, and you've been there once before in the history of your organization.
Bro, do you see what is that map 4 average?
That's a bit absurd. Yeah.
Plus 123 in map 4s.
I mean, it's only 3 maps, so it's still.
No, that is absurd.
That's still insane. A little bit better than 4.7.
Yeah, but you're 2-1, so it's not that much crazier.
True.
Grind it out. Now, well, Skyline is a map where you can see that.
No, you certainly can. You certainly can. We'll see if Boston Breach can send us all the way to what, a rewind to close it out. They got to win this. So I mean, that was a story kind of in the last series, right? Can Rocker win that map 4 Skyline to get to a map 5? It's just the opposite with the Surge, right? It would have been to a dealer, but they weren't able to do it. Can Breach do it? Or does Surge slam the door shut and close this one out? We continue on this beautiful Saturday. 85 out and sunny. We were to the beach for like an hour and a half this morning. It was glorious.
Best time to be in Florida probably right now.
Yeah, no.
Before it gets too hot.
Yeah, true.
And we melt.
Yeah, no, that's when I'm on life alert.
You're always on that.
True. Players, though, getting locked, getting dialed. Breach still believing, but yeah, you gotta love it. I mean, this kind of plays the stories we're talking about at the beginning of this. The control improvements, you saw them there beating a solid control team. I mean, really just well-rounded team.
Yeah, and I think what we talked about going into the map 3 was like you didn't see some of the individual plays you wanted to see out of Boston Breach. It felt like everybody really got going there. Maybe gives them that confidence going into a Skyline. And well, you shut down Neptune. Can you do it again?
Can you do it again? Can Wake take over? Is it the Abusa show? Does it end here? Do we go to a map 5? We thought this was the craziest tournament we've had so far. I mean, just looked at the bracket at the start of it. Like, who the hell knows who's going to take this thing or how it's going to play out?
Still don't know.
Yeah, still don't know. Not as many crazy series as I expected, but still a lot of tournament to be played. Map 4 now, underway. Breach trying to battle back and even up the series. And they'll start with those P2 side spawns, trying to stop themselves from being flipped, trying to battle for the time. So far, beautiful.
You love to keep Cammy alive there, but Purge has the trade right back onto the time. Can get a nice P1 lead here, still with those P2 spawns, and that window opened up, and that's going to be all 4 dead.
And you do spawn left side one more time. Thought maybe going to be a split coming in, but okay, all 4 are going to be there. So now Surge trying to turn this into time and see if they can make a play late on the flip. Tammy trying to hold Cat for now. Yeah, teammates dropping around him.
I think some teams in that scenario probably push up very far and try to maybe split the spawns. But Surge is just thinking, let's take the time, and then after a pick, let's go. This is what they do. They play around the objective, they find an opening pick, and now as soon as a P2 is about to pop, they win it again behind Neptune's 3.
One of the best teams is finding kills at the right time. You know, when to switch gears and go. Yeah, I was surprised at first. I was assuming they were going to hold forward.
Yeah, they just took the 20.
Down. They're like, okay, yeah, let's just take the time, hold our gun up, keep the ADS, be locked down.
Because you know what ends up happening, right? Like, if it gets a little bit messy on that push, you have 2 players spawning behind you, maybe 2 in front of you, and then, well, you just get flipped again. Maybe you lose majority of that time. Instead, it is just full map control as opposed to in the kitchen cooking.
Seems like Ray's just like, let's just make the game simple. Simple as we can.
He's a pretty good coach.
It's easy to get crazy on a map like this. Let's not allow that to happen as best we can. Control the controllables. And so far, doing that, up 40. Breach now going to need to answer back at this P3. I mean, not the biggest of deficits. They're still okay, but starting to remind me of the last series.
Yeah, well, I'm just worried too. Just from a slaying standpoint, sort of your subs right now, just combined 6 and 13. And always difficult when you don't have the good spawns that you want trying to break these hills, but they're also just losing gunfights like that. 0-4, similar to map 1, doing whatever he wants to do, controlling the map.
Dude, he has been such a fun player to watch develop over these last couple of years. Seems like he's finally getting comfortable, knowing it's his time to take over. Love so much about this team. A nice little answer there for Breach, at least when you talk about a volley of kills they desperately needed. But as I say that, coming right back with it is Neptune, and now everything you did there if you're Breach just gets clotheslined by Neptune.
And again, another example of it where maybe you have 3 dead and someone wants to get on forward, they just stay. You had 7 blocking the spawn, so they're going to take this time, allow the reinforcements to get in a position from Breach, and then maybe after these kills, try to go and flip the spawns.
Yeah, so far content to take the time, but well, they kind of all get shut down there as the ARs from Cammy and Awakening make the play. 4 is still kind of out lurking in Purge. He's going to try and stagger this push a bit, make people deal with him, and he does that perfectly. He's able to get 2, still have your teammates safety, so still spawning out Narnia. I mean, Purge picks him apart. He's able to get 3 and then a 4th. That is a Purge masterclass.
Yeah, I think we should watch him. Let's watch number 4 in Purge.
Yeah.
He's back down right now. Yes, cutting them down with both weapons. Well, he's going to spot the push. Well, the rest of the players, 3 going to go up top, 1 down low.
You just saw the map, like everyone's playing safe, and then Purge is out roaming, and what a play he can make. Streak is going to continue out of him. He's now on 5 in a row. Everybody's dropped outside of Purge. He's going to have to be the hero again, and maybe that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. Both weapons to work with, but not able to win that final fight. So a break now. And from Surge as they try to push this lead out once again.
Yeah, you'd love this 20 if you were
man.
Breach, because now that's going to keep your 70-point lead if you are Surge. So it's just Purge kind of lurking up top, allowing his teammates to get in a position for this P1.
All right, about to get into our second set. 70-point advantage. Is it just the guns need to get a little bit hot for Breach? Surge just a better hardpoint team? What's got to change?
Well, I think the P1 to P2, I think the P2 is probably massive, and then you have a chance. There's a 30-point swing right there behind that break, right? This is a much different game if you get all of the P4.
True.
This doesn't happen, but now you're getting P1 ripped away from you. Yeah, just look at the scoreboard. Yeah, Nasty double positive, Neptune double positive, 5 in a row now for Nasty.
Make it 6. Nasty is piecing. Surge are dominating. Lights out and hardpoint. Yeah, I mean, you could say it's a combo of 2 versus 4 like you would back to the Vault kind of, that was the storyline in that map 1. Right now, though, the storyline is Nasty is dominating. Surge are dominating. And they're set up for another P2. Streak now up to 8. 1 more to get the missile. He's able to do just that. Gets it before the streak comes to an end. But you got some real estate now for the next hardpoint. This is probably the do or die moment. Breach have to break. They got to break early.
I really want to watch sort of a Thief Surge.
Oh, yeah.
Hardpoint on land, because these 2 teams just seem a step ahead. And what we're seeing out of Surge is just so fun to watch. And hardpoint is Neptune. Him and 04 find all 4. You had a chance there. It's looking like you were going to break the spawns, but the duo says not today.
You had a 4-on-2, maybe some damage into a couple players, but you just got to take that. As you said, the duo shuts it down. Break had to happen there. It's been a game of sprees at times. It was Nasty previously, still with the cruise in hand, playing the Jacuzzi heady beautifully. Neptune still on a tear as well. Lead is just building up over 100 points now. Feed is all white again. Boston Breach being put in a body bag.
Yeah, the only player that makes a play right there is Persian. That's because he got gifted a back spawn. I mean, Patio was open. He spawns there, so he gets a freebie, but then it's immediately traded. 130-point lead, and I think similar to map number 1, your P2, it's like a P4. It's like 100-5 on that hill.
Into the Breach. Surge are more like into their cheeks, as they are just frying them. 04 trying to get back to work. Stun gonna slow him down. Okay, maybe this is last call.
Yeah, maybe not.
Like, can you hold 3rd and have a perfect hold at 4th? Okay, all right, here we go. Breach, take a breath.
The problem is Nasty has a Hellstorm, so.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Joe, but
all right,
I'm trying to believe, Joe. Maybe the missile hit a bird. Somebody will shoot it out of the sky. But you're requiring perfection. You're up against it right now in the series. Reminder, this is a winner's bracket match, so you still continue to battle. You lose this series. But Breach within this one, they're trying to guarantee themselves their second top 3 ever in the CDL as an organization. Not looking that way right now, though. But hold up. If they can get a perfect hold here, suddenly you're down, 40 to 50.
Well, Nasty's going to find the fake. Is he going to use it here? Do they not want to? Abuza's going to find the 3rd. So They're going to have the pressure. Do they block the spawns? They do, and they win all the gunfights.
See you later. That dream, that story is dead. Surge with another break. Another moment of dominance, up 100, looking to close this out. Breach have got to break through. You can't, quite win it here, but it's another spree. You've had a 7 from Nasty, a 6 from Neptune, now 6 from Abuza as he's taken over.
And this is the thing, the map control. You've always had somebody
go.
out. Nasty's going to call in the Hellstorm, just let his teammates know where the push is coming from.
No one to
Force
kill.
them into Neptune's hand where he gets another one. He finds Awakening. And this has just been a hardpoint masterclass in this series.
No, it really, really has. They are so far ahead of this Breach team in this particular mode.
I mean, it might be ahead of a lot of teams.
Yes, yes. I mean, this when
Almost.
when they first started to make their run into being a good team with Neptune in, it was a hard point. That was the bright, shining light for this squad. And they are right back to the basics. Dominance out of Surge. Another winner's bracket final for them as they continue their run, looking for that first victory.
It is impressive to watch.
It is. It
The
is.
hardpoint.
It's clinical. It is clinical.
And they set each other up, right? You get those players that you want in specific positions, and you see what happens, right? Everyone's taking their turn, going on 5 sprees, getting streaks. I mean,
Yeah. like-
everybody should be watching their gameplay.
I think, you talked a bit about like the guns maybe not being hot for Breach. And then you've kind of followed that up with like the Surge gameplay is kind of what's making it like that. Because a lot of times we'll talk about these sprees and they're shooting so straight, but it's usually when the game's like easy. When you're set up and you're holding, you're not having to break and trying to win the rotation fight constantly. They were put into a tough position 90% of the time with the hard points.
Well, and I think Breach, they sort of thrive in the chaos at times, right? That's when Purge gets going. That's when Snoopy gets going. There was just no chaos on the
they
map.
made a chaotic hardpoint map look basic.
I mean, almost on 100 point club.
Yeah, no, they turned a Bocage into a raid. I don't know. Like they definitely slowed it down, right? Like that.
No, 100%.
Like they got 150 point win on Skyline. It's like a 250 to 40 on other map. Like that is a blowout. Because that's a scrappy map, and that did not play scrappy at all. Holy hell. Dominance from Surge. If you're a Surge fan, you gotta love to see that. They seem to be a team poised to make a run. I know, listen, Shift's talking about maybe being frauds if you're Breach. I know they didn't have the most impressive wins, but still that, dude, the hard points, I don't care what team you're playing against, those were so good.
Yeah, and I mean, Breach, they're just a team that's, I don't know, beating the teams they needed to, right? They've kept themselves in a position for champs, and that's kind of step one is to get there. It's just, can they continue to get better so they have a chance at winning it?
Yeah, and they're not done, right?